This will heal you. Hi friends, welcome to another video. If you're new here, my name is Emily, otherwise known as Shamanism. You can call me anything, just don't call me late for dinner. Hi, hello, welcome. If you aren't familiar with me, I'm a musician, a vibrational healer, an author, a gardener, and an occasional comedian. Welcome to the channel. And if you're returning, thank you so much for being here. Today, I thought we would talk again about something very, very important in life. And as I progress through life, I only discover more and more of how very valuable this is. And you're asking myself, what is it, Emily? Relaxation. And I'm going to give you 3 important reasons that relaxing is so, I keep wanting to say important. It's really the only word to use that I'm finding for the time being. Relaxation is so important to one's progression and health in life. The first reason that I find relaxation to be important, now mind you, these are all my personal takes on these things. However, this is based on my 40 years of experience, is that one of the best things that relaxation is fairly obviously good for is your nervous system, which, as I've spoken about on this video here and that video there, is the fact that if your nervous system is frazzled and it's constantly in fight or flight, like mode, honestly, some of you may be able to sense how that even felt, even just from me making the sounds of how it feels. That's not the optimal state for our body. So first things first is that if we're not in a relaxed state, and I'm not saying that we will be all of the time, however, as much as we are consciously aware and able to be relaxed, the reason it's so important to be is that it's very, very, very beneficial to our nervous system, because a lot of us, without even knowing it, have adjusted to a very high level of, shall we call it anxiety, just tension and stress within our lives as like a baseline. And that isn't good, and it wears your nervous system down over time. The second reason that I find relaxation to be vital and so important and cherishable, is that a word? That I cherish, is because it allows us what I'll call higher access. What I mean by that is, if you saw my video where I spoke about the girl who had a near-death experience and saw Jesus and had an experience with Jesus, then you'll be somewhat more familiar with what I mean by higher access. Until or unless we are relaxed, we have very limited, dare I say, maybe any connection with the divine, with what some might call the supernatural, with the intangible, the things that are not easily seeable, provable. Are these even English words? They are now. And as a human, along your journey, I'm going to guess that at some point you'll find it useful, if not comforting, to have the access to what a lot of us call our higher selves, which is just, as far as I understand at this moment, the furthest in the future, if you want to think of it that way, version of ourselves who has the highest possible, best life in this incarnation, if that makes sense. I don't know if that will make perfect sense to some of you, and to others you'll be like, so bless. We are where we are on the journey. So the second reason that relaxation, in my view, is so incredibly important, worth treasuring, is the fact that it is the key, it is the doorway that gives us access to the outside world, to the supernatural experiences, to our own higher self connection, to honestly what I find to be the more magical and wonderful aspects of life. Now, I'm not saying there's not wonderful things about the more mundane, i.e. nature. Y'all know that I really love nature. You see my flower videos, things about trees. So you know, and my plant meditations, let's not forget those. Again, the second reason that relaxation, in my view, is so important, it is one of the only real keys to allow you that higher access to your higher self, to your guides, to your team, to whatever you believe in, to that higher source, whatever it is arranging this crazy game here on Earth. And the third, and quite possibly the most important reason to find relaxation in your life and to experience it, again, in my view, as often as possible, is because that allows you also access to joy and happiness. Think of any time that you felt extreme joy or extreme happiness. Were you in a state of stress? I'm going to go ahead and be bold and say, no, I'm thinking you weren't. I'm thinking when you were on vacation, wherever it was, be it the beach, be it the rainforest, be it anywhere that you can imagine that is peaceful for you, I'm going to guess that you were in a state of relaxation when you were there enjoying it, whilst you had no responsibilities, whilst you knew you were allowed to soak in all the goodness that life does have to offer. It's crazy when you first start thinking about these things. And as you begin to actually practice pleasure, which is such a strange thing for me to be saying, it's a new thing, the more that you allow yourself to really enjoy life and to practice pleasure and enjoy and languish in pleasure consciously, the more of it you get. And it's really this beautiful continuum of relaxation. Then you get these just joyous moments, which you are able to get downloads, which give you more ideas. Like, it's amazing. The third reason, in my opinion, that relaxation is so important is it allows us access to joy and happiness. And joy and happiness are, I would say, largely some of your other keys to the universe, because they open up so many things for you. Options, partners, paths, freedom in general. Being happy is what we're here to do. And although it's a simple concept, it's hard for a lot of people to understand that the purpose of life could be so simple as to just for us to enjoy life and be happy. So my invitation to you here is to relax in your life as much as possible, as in whatever task you're doing. Even if that task is something brand new to you, try to be conscious in the moment and allow yourself to be relaxed while being uncomfortable. It sounds weird, and I assure you it's a thing that can exist in your life. It's a weird experience, and it is an experience. I want you to ask yourself this question. With everything in life, in fact, ask yourself, how happy can you get? And watch how your life begins to snowball in the most crazy positive spiral, because that is what is beginning to happen in my life. And I am just in the very early stages of understanding what this begins to mean. So if you know someone who needs to hear this message, please do share this video with them. Subscribe, as that helps me as a content creator to get the messages out there to those folks like you who need to hear this message. And last but not least, if you do need any support or health coaching, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at this email address, where it would be my pleasure to serve you in whatever way that I can. Have a beautiful and a blessed rest of your day or night, and I will see you, beautiful cats, in the next one. Namaste, much love, and do stay healthy. Bye. Like, nope, that's not the title. Now, mind you, these are all my personal takes on these things. 40 years of experience. Cherishable, is that a word? Treasurable. What are these words? Are these even English words? They are now. Think of any time that you felt extreme joy or extreme happiness. Mode. Being happy is what we're here to do.